Assassin's Creed is making a comeback, but this time on the smaller screen. Are you excited about this?
If it was anyone but Netflix, I would be. So I'm all right. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like fascinated by that statement.
So well, kind of. So in the past, I would have been, but so yeah. So Netflix and Ubisoft teaming up to produce a live-action Assassin's Creed series. Now it seems pretty early in pre-production. They haven't got a showrunner or anything, but they've announced it, so it's happening. Just like they recently announced that the Splinter Cell show coming as well. And the reason why past Sweeney would have been super excited about this because there's actually quite a lot of Netflix shows I do like. You know, they do good by Castlevania. I need to check out. I don't know if it's out yet, but Dragon's Dogma. Keen to see that as well because I love the game. And I like a lot of the, you know, like what they did with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and, you know, like you got House of Cards. Like Netflix has done some good stuff, but Netflix also, especially in recent years, has a tendency to cut a lot of shows off as they're kind of, you know, just really getting into the flow of things. And that's why I'm like, because if this ends up being good, I'd just be worried all the time, is it going to have another season? And like, do they have to then write around that, knowing that, okay, Netflix has been cancelling all these shows? Like, I haven't seen it, but Altered Carbon is one that people are, you know, frustrated that they cancel and things. And I don't know if that impacts, because then you can't, you know, like, you can't have really good season cliffhangers in case, you know, you think that it's not going to continue and stuff. But
I could go the path of Deadwood or something like that. You wait 15 years for the finale to be shown.
So this is not the first time that it's come to the screen. We had the 2016 film starring Michael Fassbender.
Did you watch that?
Okay, so you know how much of a huge Assassin's Creed fan I am.
I think it's your favorite franchise. I think you actually like it more like than Mario, Zelda. You know, I can't even think of other franchises.
It's up there. I love it, and the thing is, I won't say I love every aspect of all the plot stuff. A lot of it lost its way a bit, but especially the first 5 games with the Desmond saga and everything, that was really cool. And so I was actually really pumped to check out the movie. And I tried watching it sometime early this year, and
so you hadn't seen it before?
No, I hadn't. And I gave it a shot, and I'm like, man, I know this got a poor critical reception, but maybe I'll love it. It's just, for an Assassin's Creed film, it just starts so boring, and I could only get through the first like 40 minutes, and I just got bored. And I can't believe that.
It off.
And I will.
Wow.
I will say that I've got in a bad habit of doing that for a lot of films this last, you know, couple of years.
Really?
Where I will, if it doesn't hook me, I'll just move off and say I want to do something else. But and that was one of those, and maybe I'll give it a shot. But that's the other reason. It's like, well, that didn't work for me. Is the live action series going to work? I definitely think a series is much better in some ways, but out of all the games I play, a movie could have worked, you know, and maybe if I watch the whole thing, maybe it'll turn me around, but I kind of don't think so.
This sounds like a bad movie.
Probably. And it was, well, like, it visually looked great and everything, but it also kind of looked visually bland at the same time, so it's...
Sounds like Assassin's Creed.
Hey, Assassin's Creed looks beautiful, man. Like, there's Odyssey. There's some parts of Odyssey that look amazing.
Yeah, but that's the most recent one. I don't know. Like, to be honest, looking at it, I'm like, it looks like Assassin's Creed. It's all brown and stuff.
Trust me, you haven't played enough Assassin's Creed games.
I'm staring partially.
So there's part of me. It's like, I obviously hope this is cool, but we'll see. We'll see. That's pretty much how I feel.
And look. Like, I think the thing is, they're pretty brutal, Netflix, now, because, you know, the shows they're cancelling, they're not cancelling the shows that are being watched. You know, like, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's like people aren't watching them, so they're cancelling them.
I mean, yeah, but you got shows like Daredevil is actually quite popular, you know, and they cut that off.
Yeah, but, like, there's probably 2 components there. Like, how much are they paying for the licenses versus how many people is it driving to stay on the stuff?
But I don't care about any of that. So I care as a viewer. So
yeah, sure.
You know, like,
I get what you're saying.
And I'm coming at this from a viewer standpoint. Do I want to get invested in a show that Netflix could potentially can before it starts getting good? You know?
And I think that's the biggest thing. They haven't been handling how they cancel things well. It's been very data driven. It's not like they've sat down with the showrunners and said, realistically, we think there's 2 seasons. So build the arc that way, maybe put a slight cliffhanger there if we want to go back to season 3. You know what I mean?
And this, I will say, one of the things that annoyed me the most, and this is actually not Netflix by all accounts, it's David Fincher, but it's very possible that Mindhunter won't get a 3rd season. So it's, oh man, like that was building up to something big, and that's apparently more David Fincher than them. Apparently, I don't know if you've ever watched Mindhunter, but that
a little bit. I didn't get really into it.
He apparently that show took a lot out of him. Yeah, like it was a very a lot of his time and stuff. And I think he said that he doesn't know if he'll do a 3rd season. So,
but they could do a 3rd season, right, without him.
I mean, yeah, and they can do it. They could, but I think Finch's style is very, very important to that show.
Very particular. Yeah, no, that's true. Awesome. And then let's get into my favorite segment of always our show.